The office fell into a deathly, suffocating silence. Sharon, who had been hovering near the desk, dropped the notebook. It hit the floor with a heavy thud, the yellowed pages spilling open. Mother stared at the officers, a frown slowly forming, as if she were trying to decipher a foreign language. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Then, a sharp, dismissive laugh broke from her throat. "Officer, this isn't funny," she said, her voice tight but unwavering. "Did she put you up to this? How much is she paying you to play along with her little performance? Tell her it won't work." "I am not falling for this." The older officer, a man with deep lines etched around his eyes, exchanged a heavy look with his partner. He stepped forward, his tone devoid of any humor. "Mrs. Cole, this is not a joke. We received a frantic call from a groundskeeper 10 minutes ago. Your daughter, Brianna Hayes, was found deceased on the sidewalk outside the medical building." He paused, his voice softening slightly, though the clinical nature of his words remained brutal. "The initial assessment indicates she succumbed to severe hypovolemic shock, compounded by heatstroke. We also need to inform you that due to her prolonged exposure outside, her body suffered significant postmortem animal predation before she was found." Mother's face completely drained of color. She looked like a wax statue, her eyes wide, staring blankly at the officer's badges. "Postmortem animal predation," she whispered, the words sounding hollow, as if they belonged to a different reality. "Stray cats. You mean stray cats?" She stumbled backward, her hip bumping hard against the edge of her desk. She didn't seem to notice the pain. "No," she said, shaking her head slowly. "No, she was just throwing a tantrum. She has severe anemia, yes, but I cook for her. I give her iron supplements. She wouldn't die from a simple blood donation. It's impossible. We are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the blood drive," the younger officer stated, his gaze shifting sharply to Sharon, who was now trembling violently in the corner. "Including the volume of blood drawn from a student with a known, severe pre-existing condition, and the subsequent decision to leave her incapacitated in extreme heat." Sharon let out a choked gasp, covering her mouth as tears finally spilled over her cheeks. "But this time, they weren't fake. This time, they were born of pure, unadulterated terror. I didn't know!" Sharon cried out, her voice shrill and panicked. "She was faking it, Mrs. Cole said she was faking it. I was just following orders. I only drew 400 milliliters because the director said not to stop." Mother turned her head slowly, looking at Sharon. The affectionate gaze she had bestowed upon the nurse just moments ago was gone, replaced by a horrifying, hollow realization. I said that?" Mother whispered, her voice cracking. "I floated above them, watching the exact moment my mother's meticulously constructed world of fairness and discipline shattered into a million irreparable pieces. We need you to come with us to the morgue, Mrs. Cole, to formally identify the body," the older officer said gently, stepping forward to steady her as her knees finally gave out. "I followed them. I didn't have a choice. My soul seemed tethered to her grief, a cruel, invisible leash." The ride in the police cruiser was silent. Mother stared out the window, her hands trembling uncontrollably in her lap. She kept muttering my name under her breath, a broken, desperate mantra. When we arrived at the county morgue, the sterile smell of antiseptic and cold steel hit us. The medical examiner, a solemn woman in a white coat, led us down a long, fluorescent-lit hallway. "Mrs. Cole, I must warn you," the medical examiner said softly, pausing outside the heavy metal doors. "The condition of your daughter's body. It is quite distressing. The heat and the animals. It is not how you remember her." Mother swallowed hard, nodding mechanically. "I need to see her. I need to see my Brianna." The doors opened. The chill of the room enveloped us. In the center, on a steel gurney, lay a form covered by a white sheet. The examiner pulled back the sheet. Mother let out a sound I had never heard before, a guttural, tearing scream that seemed to rip